All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Lefty is off tonight because, that's what lefties do. We're here every Tuesday, as you know. I hope everybody had a good Labor Day weekend. Brought to you not by the unions, which is a myth, but by the hardworking folks and mainly Ford. The Ford Motor Company is the people that originally started the Labor Day thing. Did you know that, Maddie? Seeing people don't. We are excited to have Charles Aldrich, Libertarian candidate for U.S. Senate, on our show today. We're going to be talking to him. Well, he says he's running because he's angry about what the government's doing. And specifically, he wants to bring our troops home, which I think there are a lot of people on both left and right that could get behind that. Domestically, what's the government doing that's making you mad enough to want to run for Senate? Because I ran for Congress. That is a big bucket of bull. I'm going to tell you, that's tough doing that. So what's making you do this? What are they doing domestically that's upsetting you?
Domestically, we've got people spying, collecting what they call mega data. So they know or they can look up and find out what everybody is doing. Another thing is we've got the TSA who, in the U.S., you're supposed to be innocent until proved guilty, but with the TSA, you're guilty until proved innocent, which they should not be doing body searches for people who are just trying to travel from one place to another. There's a whole host of things, like with the Bakken, they've got eminent domain, and they're abusing it because when they take property for eminent domain, it's only supposed to be used for government issues, like if you're going to build a school, if you're going to build a highway, or some government place where they need land. They're not supposed to buy or confiscate land and then give it to a private entity. The ones who are running the Bakken pipeline are private entities, and there's no way that they should be getting government aid to steal property from individuals or tribes.
Now, do you know of any instance where the government, the local government or state or federal government has stepped in and said, well, hold on, we're going to use eminent domain in order to secure the land for this pipeline? Or has it just been all the Koch brothers basically buying pieces as it goes along?
It's been our governor working with the federal government to collect the land so that they can put the pipeline through it.
Well, my question really is I'm unaware of any act by the governor or even locally, because locals can take your land by eminent domain. I have not heard anything where there's been anything official from the government that says, well, we're taking this piece of land for, to expand the pipeline. Have you heard of anything like that? And if you have, can you give me a reference so I can go look that up? Because, that's what our listeners do. I mean, that's why I have this phone. That's why people text me on Facebook. They go, well, hold on, I didn't know that was true. So if this is true, I think that's awful. So do you know of any instances of that?
I only heard of it about a year ago, and my memory's not good enough to recall who I heard it from and any other information, just that the governor was involved in getting the land through eminent domain.
Well, that's if that's true, that is I can't support that. I don't support eminent domain. I'm with Charles over here on this. What do you think about all the violence that's going on up there at the pipeline?
The violence that's going on is by the people trying to put in this illegal pipeline. Because today I was watching on the internet, and the people who were protesting against it were being pepper sprayed and bitten by dogs. They're not the ones who are creating the problem. The problem is created by the people who are taking the land illegally and then having people that they call guards attack the protesters.
So you don't think that people that are protesting on private property should be removed or attacked by dogs? Because that's the other side. That's what people are going to say. So how are you going to respond to that?
It was an illegal act by taking their land. So anything that they do after that is illegal. They should not be attacking the protesters.
And the way they got their land is illegal. So that's what you're saying. They're saying they got it through eminent domain.
Correct.
Which technically is legal, or that they might have been hoodwinked and sold it, which again is not technically illegal, but still, pretty shady.
If they got the land to turn it over to a private corporation, it's not eminent domain. It's confiscation and resale, because eminent domain has strict limitations on what they can get.
Okay. Now I don't agree with turning the dogs loose on people. I work with dogs all the time. I got 3 therapy dogs in my office, and I know what a bite feels like. So that's pretty awful. I also don't think you ought to pepper spray people. I've never been pepper sprayed, but that's pretty awful, particularly if they're protesting. Part of what's going on up at the Bakken pipeline is really violent. And the truth of the matter is who knows who started what, but pipelines are the safest way to transport oil. And what really kills me about this Bakken pipeline, and you may not know this, I don't think Maddie may know this because Ed talks about it all the time. There isn't a pipeline running right next to it. They could simply take that land, buy it because it's already all done up, and repipe that entire thing. Did you know that?
I was not aware that they had one right next to it. So
yeah, within a mile of where the Bakken pipeline's running, they have that. Isn't that right, Matt? Have you heard it? Yeah. So you have this. Honest to goodness, Ed loves to. You know who Ed Fallon is? Ever heard of him?
No.
You might want to go on his show because he would love it about this Bakken pipeline thing. Guy has a little cottage industry running around the world, walking and talking about climate change. Anyway. According to Ed, you can see where he was walking, which is the path of the Bakken pipeline. You can actually see the other pipeline at parts. That's just incredible. So we're running up against some time. I don't have enough time for another question, so we're going to come back after this break with Charles Aldrich, who is a Libertarian candidate for the U.S. Senate. He's swinging for the wall. I'm telling you what. He's taking on Grassley and Judge, and hopefully he'll get invited to one of the debates. That would be awesome. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We couldn't do what we do without you. We're going to be back right after this break. We're going to be asking even more questions of Charles.